Hey all, and welcome back to Pokémon Sword. We're starting with a bang here, and Leon obviously is going to take care of the problem, as he says right here. Don't worry, it's a cool thing, but you don't need to worry about that. Keep your eye on the goal. You'll go places. Seeing giant Pokémon and taking them on outside of a den setting? No. Just become the champion. Sell for mediocrity.
Yeah, because if we were to show the big Pokemon rampaging, we'd have to animate that, and we can't be doing that now, can we?
Now, look, I know it's really easy to say, oh, they didn't do this because they didn't want you to have fun or anything, and you know what? I would say 9 times out of 10, that's not true. It's just constraints and whatnot, and while it is constraints here as well, at least in other aspects, like it doesn't rub up against the story and make it seem really awkward. Here it is just another case of like Piers tapping his foot. Like you see it, but there's no outcome.
Yeah, it's like, to a certain degree, I can respect the idea of working smart rather than working hard.
Yes.
And sometimes there are extra layers of polish that maybe it's worth cutting just to get something else in and using your time more efficiently and all that. But this is a pretty major element. If you're telling me that there's a massive Dynamax Pokemon just rampaging around where all the people are, we kind of need to see that. That's kind of a big fucking deal. So if that's what you skimp out on, then, you know, you're not really working smart. You're just skipping over stuff.
Yeah.
When you get things like that, it does add credence to the argument that Pokemon team Game Freak don't spend or are not given enough time to develop their games for sort of each cycle, because
I'm sorry, is he T-posing on the floor there?
Well, no, he's just lying on his back. Good job he came across a giant Steel-type Pokemon so his Charizard could take it out.
Yeah,
if that was a Gyarados, he'd be fucked.
but yeah, it's one of those things where I think if you were given more time, then potentially it would have been something like, well, we've got the time to put this in. Whereas if you're kind of going, we're limited in what we can do, obviously, in terms of the technological scale, this is perhaps larger in terms of sort of the stuff than Game Freak have done in a while. Whether the output matches up to that, different kettle of fish. But sort of, it's the hardest system they've had for a while to have to deal with, and so getting on top of that, creating a whole brand new world, etc., etc. You can see why there may have been corners cut this time round, but so that's why sort of like I am mostly willing to forgive some of those sorts of issues. What I will not necessarily be able to forgive is if the same mistakes are repeated in the next mainline Pokemon game, because at that point it's just like, you don't have new technology as an excuse, you don't have really new models as an excuse. Like, the excuses of this particular generation are gone, so they do need to up it for the next one, whatever happens.
But what makes me worry about that, and this is probably going to sound like the most cynical take you get from this, but these games have already sold millions regardless.
Yes.
So, like, what's to stop the Pokemon company from thinking, oh well, we'll just get them to make next year's game their year 2? They were clearly able to do it. You know, like, that. When you see how detached, maybe not even the Pokemon company, but just investors in general, that's kind of the takeaway there. They're not involved in the game development process. They're just in, like, what can we do to make money? And what Game Freak have proven here is that they can make a game that will sell in a year.
Yes.
So, like, you know, there's, from a business perspective, there's no motivation to give them, say, two or 3 years to work on a game. Like, that's just why a lot of this stuff does rub me the wrong way, because it's like there's nothing that we as consumers can really do, because Pokemon's too big of a brand for fan backlash to actually matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and I think also the other thing with it is that, obviously, once again, target market, so like all of us old folk could not buy Pokemon, and really it wouldn't put that much of a dent in
Not really.
terms of their sales. And then also, yeah, you are right. Like, it's one of those things where you end up in the argument of video games of, are they, or should they be purely commercial entities, or should there be sort of thinking of them more in line with art or some form of artistic form? And I mean, I will always err on the side of, I think that video games should be given the time to breathe and explore and be the best version that it can be, because art can be enjoyable and art can be commercial, but you've got to allow it to be that, rather than just going, I just want money now and I want all of the money, so get me the thing that's going to get me money in the shortest amount of time possible. Because that's when you come up against these types of problems.
Well, to be fair, this isn't a video game exclusive problem. Like, every commercial artistic medium does have that thing of, like, yes, you're producing what you want to produce, your artistic piece, but you need to sell it. Like, there's so many, like, bands who get pressured by record labels to do their albums a certain way, or to make sure they've got something to release for a certain period. So it feels like, to a certain degree, parts of the industry are still finding their feet, because the move to HD I imagine that's kind of caught a lot of companies off guard, because there's this extra element of, like, it takes longer to produce certain things when you've got these higher expectations.
Yeah.
But, I don't really see this as something that should affect it too much, because ultimately other industries have shown that they can balance these things.
Yes.
And even within the gaming industry, there are a lot of, like, quite grey areas and ethical questions about, like, developer works articles and whatnot, but a lot of companies do still manage to put out something, because, like, either they have multiple studios alternating between products, or they just have longer development cycles and manage to make it work that way.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think with Pokemon, arguably the route that would work best for them is taking that more multiple dev teams working on separate ones. So basically the Call of Duty model, which, while normally I wouldn't say that's a good model to go for, because I'm not a Call of Duty person, but clearly it sort of does work, and I think that actually for Pokemon that would be beneficial, but equally for Pokemon, having sort of a little bit more of a break between the mainline games would also be good, because there is such a sense of burnout for those of us who have been there since the beginning. Obviously, like, there have been many people who've dropped off, come back, or at different points, because the games do sit very similarly, so having a bit more of a break between the games would help with that burnout.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like if they wanted to compromise and still get a game out every year without having to worry about overkill, I feel like the Pokemon brand name is strong enough that they could just put a higher focus into, like, their spin-offs on the off year.
Yeah.
So you could have a main series game, and then you'd have a year where you get, like, a couple of spin-offs and, like, that are developed by outsourced developers. And, like, they used to do that. I seem to recall that they never used to have a cycle. That's why stuff like Gen 4 went on for fucking ever. But, like, that was kind of what they were doing, and they were, like, because the Pokemon name will sell even if it's not a mainline game, I feel like that could kind of strike the balance. But it's, again, whether the investors want spin-off money or whether they want main series, mainstream game money, which there's probably still a bit of a discrepancy there.
Just a bit, but I do agree. I think that would be a good route to take, because, honestly, pretty much most of the Pokemon spin-off games have been a lot of fun in one way, shape or form. Like, I love Mystery Dungeon. I really loved the Ranger games. It's debatable necessarily how good it was, but I really enjoyed Detective Pikachu. And obviously, Tommy, you really enjoyed Pokepark.
I did.
And so there are a lot of good spin-off games out there.
Where's Pokemon Dash 2? Come on.
Yeah. I don't think that one was necessarily as high in quality.
I enjoyed it for the stupid throwaway game it is, but
yeah.
But yeah, like in terms of the branding and like talking the spin-offs and whatnot, I would really like to see another like Genius Sonority-esque kind of game, because I really do like Colosseum XD. I don't think it will happen now. I feel like if they were going to revisit that, they would have done it by now. But just that kind of approach, I did enjoy those games.
Alright then, welcome to the Hammerlocke Stadium. Oh, that was a lot of real talk. When the other co-coms get going, well, for one, I'm lazy, I'll let them handle it. And number two, I don't like to get in the way of a good conversation. So thank you guys for bringing that to the table. But now is time for real talk. Well, version 2.0. Raihan is the last obstacle before we head to the final area of the game, and he does things a little differently, as we'll see. It's all about double battles here at the Hammerlocke Stadium, so I hope you've optimised your team for such a feat, because I sure as hell haven't.
I assumed as much, but yeah, I was just mentioning the Genius Sonority games. This is like the closest we're going to get now, isn't it, really?
To be fair, I did pretty much stomp Opal, Gordy, and Thingamabob Piers like 3 in a row. I'm allowed to have one off session here.
Well, I mean, you already had the fighting gym. That was your off session.
Alas. Well, whatever. Yeah, I guess people are just failing to get here. Are we really going to have the battle inside the vault with these precious tapestries?
Yeah, I did see someone bring up in the comments after we had our long discussion about how they probably don't allow photography because it might, like, people might damage the murals and that. And then here we are, not only having battles in here, but also one of the gimmicks that we're going to see that these trainers like to use is some of them like to use weather effects. So I hope these like treasured artifacts can withstand a fucking sandstorm and like maybe some hail or some shit.
Yeah, that's game story dissonance right there.
No, it's not. I'm a very intelligent person for pointing this out, you know.
Although, I suppose there is the one thing of obviously this is inside the gym, not in the vault, correct?
No, this is the vault. This is where we're fighting here. Like, the final gym battle will be in the gym stadium, but here, now we're in the vault where we were earlier looking at the paintings.
You see, because in my brain, I don't think I didn't feel like we left sort of a room in the building and they just happened to have similar tapestries. I just thought they were lazy.
Yeah, they make multiple of these ancient tapestries, Rishi. They all knew how to like use Photoshop and the printing press back in those days.
Yeah, no, like all these classic artists and that, they just had a photocopier in their office and like they could send them out to everyone.
Oh lordy, Jesus Christ!
If only we had an electric type ready to go here.
If only. Yeah, fuck off, Sligoo, with your 1 HP.
he's gonna hang around just yet. Like, I will say that line's one of my least favourite of the pseudo legendaries, I gotta say. Like, I don't know how it is usability wise, but I don't know, the designs really don't do much for me.
From what I remember, like, the Gudra line is pretty decent. I just don't remember whether it was sort of the most amazing thing in the world.
Like, I doubt it's a Garchomp tier, I can say that.
Yeah, it's not going to be Garchomp tier.
Did Ashes, like, Gudra ever win a battle? Like, honestly can't remember.
I didn't really pay much attention to XY. I think it left for a while, then came back in the league. I don't remember the specifics of that. That was the arc I didn't watch, just because Best Wishes had kind of burnt me out on Pokemon.
Yeah, understandable, really.
And then Sun and Moon I haven't really paid much attention to either, because I just like that art style they're using in that. It really does nothing for me. I know a lot of people like it, but it looks a bit too Western for me.
What does that even mean, Flame?
It looks like a Western cartoon more so than a more traditional anime style.
Yeah, but what does that mean, Flame?
You know what Western cartoons look like, and you know what most Eastern cartoons look like, and it looks more like the other one than the one it is.
Well, are we talking like Chuck Jones, or...?
The art styles, like... I don't know how to dumb it down more than this.
But obviously, the bit that you sort of, I think Tom was asking for was you prefer more traditional Eastern animation styles over Western animation styles, rather than just saying it's more Western.
Yeah, it looks more like a Western anime, like a Western cartoon, which is why I don't like it as much.
Christ. Like I'm in a fucking co-thread about animation when really they're talking about goddamn boarding!
Well, like, see, the problem with the shit you like is it's not the animation that's the problem. It's the fact that the character designs are designed to be as fucking, like, easy to just trace and throw out. There's no kind of style to it. It's just generic CalArts bollocks.
Hang on. Are you telling me that anime does not suffer from similar problems?
No, I am telling you straight up that anime characters tend to have more complex designs, it has the other problem in that quite often the animation can slip because they're trying to animate more complex characters in a short time frame, which sometimes that does mean that yes, an episode gets rushed and so you get some like off-model shots here and there that don't quite look right, but the actual character designs, they're ambitious, they've got legitimate art behind them, and they're trying to make something look nice. They're not just designing characters that can be pumped out as quickly as possible.
I'm just going to sort of just challenge you on the point of legitimate art behind them, because while I can't say that all Western cartoons have the most amazing art styles or whatever, there are definitely some that do have pretty great art styles, and no matter what form of art, all art is legitimate. Whether you like it is the question.
Yeah, but like it's more cynically produced art than artistically created
that's
art.
just you thinking that, Flame. You're confusing simplicity with mediocrity there.
Well, no, because like a simple art style, if done right, can look good. It's just that's not how they do it. They do this like it's the sort of like all the faces from like every fucking one of them cartoons you like looks the fucking same.
Not really. I could pull up two characters from Steven Universe and they'd look very different.
Well, like, apart from the ones where they change the character's height partway through an episode, eh?
That's not what we're talking about here, though, Flame.
I'm trying to fuck with you.
I'm not denying that happens. Trust me on this. I know when it happens, but that's not the point we're making here.
No, but like it's just I don't see I know this is a personal taste thing, but it's just like it really does feel a lot less ambitious in the art styles than a lot of anime stuff. That's where I was negating your point about how anime also does the same thing, because I don't believe that's the case.
Now that's a different point of saying whether Western animation is as ambitious than sort of whether it is as good or whatever, because obviously those are very different points. But I feel we've probably rambled on about this one for quite a bit, but it is getting us through these double battles, so I mean, hey.
Well, Tom was busy being wrong, so I had to correct him.
Don't make me look at the fucking, like, upcoming spring anime collection, alright? Let's see how many Moe Blob animes are in there.
Yeah, but also look at, like, how the character designs are made to look as appealing as possible rather than just like very simple lines.
So there's the actual crux of the matter. It's whether you can masturbate to the character that's the issue.
Well, people can masturbate to anything. The fucking communities you follow. Like, if you look on Tumblr for any character before they brought in that fucking ban thing, like there was porn of fucking everything.
Okay, yeah, you point.
So, like, whether you can get off to something isn't the point here.
So really, Western animation would be better if they had more fathomable waifus.
Well, obviously, yes.
Okay, well, I'll just conclude by saying it doesn't really matter if something is trying to be ambitious or not. You don't go into animation to be ambitious, you do it to create a product, and that is what anime is also. It is a product. The subjective nature of analysing this stuff and how well it's done is what makes it high art or not just because it simply exists.
No, well, you say...
And also, that leaves you in the whole thing of saying you can say something is art. There is obviously the questions whether it's high art, but everything is art. It's just whether it sort of hits that level of class, I suppose.
Well, Shadow the Hedgehog, the ultimate life form, has said that anime is art, and that's what's important to me.
Alright. That's as good a sign off on that topic as any, I suppose. Oh, this is a spicy part. There's some wipeouts here. Alright, a double battle. The last one here. Do you have the strength of 2 Pokemon or... Sorry, I read that completely wrong. Oh, sorry, too much anime hate in my brain right now.
You're a fucking weirdo as well. I see you tweeting about anime all the time.
Come on, JoJo, wow. No one watches JoJo, do they?
Well, no, it's a niche series, isn't it? No one's heard of it. But oh look, we've got the same guy as the other one, and like watching their tails bounce together is kind of hypnotic. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, although I will point out, obviously, we're not in the best position with Drago out. We definitely need Cinder in there to just obliterate a bomb of snow, because oh boy, a bomb of snow.
Yeah, get out there. I'm gonna kick him in the face with a fireball.
I love a bomb of snow's design. It's stupid and derpy, but it's so endearing.
Good one. Yes, down in 1.
Okay, I'm distracted by the snowman who wants a hug. I ain't gonna pay attention to the dragon, sorry.
I'm not going anywhere fucking near a bomb of snow. It is, well, closing the tile, really.
Yeah, but look at him, he's cute.
Stop trying to make arguments, Flame. You're burnt out completely right now.
No, you're putting the wall up by being so wrong about everything.
Anyway, Raihan's uniform number is 241, which is Japanese wordplay for powerful.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. And also, his name is a popular Arabic/Urdu name from Persia and Lebanon, which when written in a particular way means fragrant flower or aromatic herb.
Ah, there you go. I don't know, maybe Raihan's ruined for me because I've seen all the fucking shipping art with him and Leon on the TL. Thanks, Digi.
Well, like the design, they kind of go in that direction. Like and the fact that he's got that fucking phone there. I saw the most worrying tweet about how many fucking OnlyFans that thing must have seen him filming.
That poor Pokemon, Jesus Christ.
I mean, I will point out, I do like the Raihan sort of, even though Pokemon is never going to have an explicitly gay character, it's just not going to happen, it's Japan. But I do like that he is sort of coded a bit more in sort of that line, and it's not, there's no big thing made of it, it's just who he is as a character, but it's just a nice touch to have a character who does sit a little bit more in that line in such a mainstream game.
Well, he's got that more kind of flamboyant personality and dress, doesn't he? So that's kind of what they're going for there.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's not so much that you go gay, but it's enough where you kind of go could be, but also it doesn't matter, and that's just nice.
It's more like gay.
I like the way you phrase that. So, like, normally when you're playing games, you just look at the gay characters come on, and it's like gay. No, he's all right. Gay.
Whatever. Here is Raihan, the Dragon Master, and oh man, he has the Pokemon to back up his prowess. Here, starting with a Flygon, and is that a Rock and Roller over there?
That's a Gigalith.
Yeah, the final evolution of Rock'n'Roller. Also, like, for a dragon-type user, he only actually has 2 dragons. Well, his others are just there to sort of throw out the different weather conditions, because that's like the secondary layer to his strategy. He uses dragon Pokemon, but he also uses weather effects. And so, really, I feel like the ideal strategy for him would to be have your own weather effects ready to go that benefit your team rather than his.
Yes.
But that takes planning ahead of time, so I just brought in water Pokemon and sort of swept him.
Thought I was going to get one hit KO'd there with a crit hit, no less. Alright, let's see if we can take out the Flygon, the obvious danger here. There you go. And this next hit should do it, though, because I think Gigalith's a slow motherfucker.
Gigalith is pretty goddamn slow.
I mean, it's a pile of rocks, for God's sake.
It is, but it's a pretty cool pile of rocks.
As far as piles of rocks go, it's in my top 5, yeah.
yeah, along with Stonjourner, maybe. Oh no, Sneaky Pebbles.
Yep, he's being smart about this.
I want a brand of cereal called Sneaky Pebbles. Like, secret hints of chocolate when you don't expect it. Don't underestimate this Sandaconda, by the way. Oh man, this thing may as well be his ace.
I used waterfall on it and it died.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, obviously, if you don't have any ice-type moves, or, well, any ice-type moves, really, at this point, it can be a bit of a challenging fight. But obviously, the fact that both Sandaconda and Gigalith sit in that being weak to water, yeah, water Pokemon would do you good. But obviously, his final actual ace in the hole that can Gigantamax is a pretty difficult Pokemon type to tackle, in a way.
Not really for me. If you got fighting, the thing goes down in a few hits.
If you got fighting, you're alright, but sort of Steel Dragon's an unusual typing matchup, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's cool. Not sure about the design, but the typing itself is nice.
Yeah, although I will say its Gigantamax form is hilarious.
It really is.
No, I can't remember. Does this particular Gigalith have sturdy? Because I think some of them do. And that just makes him really annoying to take down sometimes.
I can't remember off the top of my head, I'm going to be honest with you, mate.
Oh, you're not going to one-hit him, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
See, that's a problem for us who come prepared.
Alright, Flame, alright.
This is revenge for dissing anime, I hope you realise.
I'm just going to ignore you now. Like, this decision is final. The discussion has been and passed.
Okay, you're okay, I'll ding you on your way. We've got to fill time until the ace comes out.
Well, you know, I can sort of help with that, because we've got the whole sort of name etymologies of stuff for Raihan.
Go for it, mate.
So, English name Raihan most likely comes from the names Golden Rain and Golden Chain, which are kind of common names for the common laburnum. And the reason for that is because everything else is from the laburnum. His Japanese name is Cabana, which comes from Cabana Fuji, the common laburnum, which may also incorporate Kiba, a tusk/fang. In German, Spanish and French he's called Roy, because the laburnum's scientific name is Laburnum anagairoides or something along those lines, but it's got Roy in it. In Italian, they literally just called him Laburno. And then in Korean, they called him Gumrang, which, similarly to the English, comes from Gumsasenamu and Norangkotdung, which are both common names for the common laburnum. And basically, it's just another type of plant thing.
Oh, here he is.
Yeah, here's the big lad.
Man, people were very divided when Duraludon, yeah, first appeared. It was like, oh. And then when they showed him like doing his roaring animation, they were very divided.
To me, his base form is okay, but when he Gigantamaxes, that's when I come to like him.
I mean, the Gigantamax is amazing. Also, can I just say, I love that he had a selfie at that moment.
God.
It's the shard. It's coming to get us.
It's a fucking skyscraper.
Which, you know, considering this thing is Tyranitar's rival, that makes Godzilla versus a building, funnily enough.
Well, we already know who wins that fight, let's be honest there.
Oh boy, here we go.
He's doing his thing. Fuck.
Yeah, this is going to be a battle of attrition, guys. I'm sorry. I guess I should have brought a water-type Pokemon.
Yeah, if only someone had told you to do that.
Yeah, if only.
The octopus doesn't count as a water-type Pokemon.
It's blue, it's good enough.
Yes, this Pokemon's weakness is blue-type.
Alright, let's get some action going here. A bit of false surrender on the Sandaconda. And, I don't know, a bit of Dynamaxing with Max Knuckle on the ace over here.
Hey!
Let's see the giant octopus, which, you know, I also recognise from anime.
Yes, you would, Flame, you sick bastard, you. Why did I just call it Legend of the Overfeed or something?
I was about to say, what is that really famous anime that's got all the tentacles in it? And you've literally just answered the question for me. Thank you.
Well, there you go. Oh, Freddy's dead as well.
Richie, I'll clear that up and say there's a lot of anime with tentacles in them.
You're not wrong, but that's the one that I was thinking of.
Richie has a favourite.
He's insufferable to work with sometimes, isn't he, Richard?
Quite.
I deserve this, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Another couple of those and it'll be done and dusted. That fucking snake is still there, though.
How did that not break his windows?
This was a very poor choice of Pokemon, but hey, I have no water matchup, so whatever.
Well, you gotta give Berserker a bit of a chance to shine somewhere, right?
Or, you know, Retaliate, it could do some good damage if I'm able to get it off in time.
Yeah. Oh, he's got Max Knuckle, hasn't he?
Oh.
Ooh!
If I can just outspeed it, it might work.
Yeah, are we gonna do it?
Come on, outspeed the snake. Son of a bitch!
Oh no.
God damn it.
Yeah. Oh well.
On the plus side, I doubt this thing has long left on his Gigantamax.
Yeah, that's one point, Flo.
Oh, close.
Well, your next Max Knuckle will do it, because you've got one more.
Assuming that it doesn't die by then.
You're not wrong, but, you know, sending out an electric type against a ground type, I mean, it's going to focus on the electric type, so...
Well, it's poisoned as well, so it's doubly fucked.
Yeah.
And this is just a case of making do with what you have, sadly. This was the lineup I chose to go to the league with. This is the one we're using, and unfortunately against Raihan it doesn't do very well.
Also, can I just say, why did you use Overdrive when there's a ground type on the field?
Rishi.
Richie's doing my job now.
It hits both of them, it took out the fucking steel type. It's done, we're good.
Now just back to the snake.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. Do you have a rest, mate?
It's okay, I'm used to being sent to my death.
Didn't even die. Didn't even kill it. Well, that was the max steel spike giving it a defense buff, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh goody, that will help us out.
Yes, it's up again. Haha. Are you annoyed yet?
I was annoyed like 5 turns ago, why did you ask?
Jesus Christ.
Alright, good luck, Cinder, I guess.
Yeah, good luck indeed.
Well, I mean, at least he's not 4 times weak to the ground attacks.
Yeah, but like now it's 2 against 1 at least, so you stand half a chance.
Well, unless it pulls out Earthquake and knocks us both out, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, it's just been waiting for this one particular moment to annoy you with it.
Alright, here we go. Back of the net, lads. Back of the net.
Good. Nice.
Hey!
So, that was the 8th and final gym. It was a toughie, but only because I wasn't prepared for double battles.
At least that's it for mandatory double battles now, so you're fine.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, maybe I should snap a quick selfie. He's gonna do one of them crying selfies that people do when they want attention. Cool.
Oh, my dog died, but not really, though. Christ. Yeah, he's fine. He just gets up after a really vicious knockdown, and yeah, he can't be called Leon's rival. You know, he can't even claim the title of champion yet.
No, but it seems like there's that mutual respect for each other, so they're good as rivals, aren't they, really?
Oh, definitely.
God, he's a giant.
Maybe you're just short, given you're like 10.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually. Oh, it's a football!
Hey! That's basically my reaction to football of things. It's just like, no, I don't like football. Sorry, bye.
No misery.
Yeah, well, we all have it inside us to re-get the normies. Alright, that's it. Gym challenge basically done and dusted, apart from the finals and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that child talking to? Child? Have you seen a ghost child?
He's speaking to the other child who's standing right next to him, although he's not facing him, and we're just covering him with our bag and our body.
Okay, fair enough.
No, he's not. He's just talking to his ghost-type Pokemon.
Good old Haunter. Not sure if I'm going to use Breaking Swipe or not, but hey, at least it's there in the bag.
That might be good for Drago, mightn't it?
Maybe so, Flame, maybe so. I'll put the dragon uniform on Drago.
Yeah, I don't think it's designed for him somehow.
Alas.
Oh, you know what could have been quite fun? Being able to put the uniforms on your Pokemon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, mate.
That would have been so cool.
You watch, he'll be in there. He has a grass type, so he can stomp the Sandaconda. I'm pretty sure I stomped it with my Rillaboom back when I played Shield.
Yeah. Rillaboom will definitely have helped in that gym battle.
So would a water type.
Look, it wasn't there on my final list of things, okay? So, whatever.
You didn't have win written on your to-do list.
Well, Richie's the one who put it together, so...
Shifting the blame. I can appreciate that strategy.
Also, really, the team I suggested was much more intended for the end game rather than the this particular gym.
What is the end game if not the 8th and final gym of the game, Richie?
The actual fucking ending of the game?
Alright, we're being pernickety bastards here today, I see.
Yeah, have you not noticed over the last couple of hours? I'm in one of them modes today.
I'm so tired. Oh, Christ.
Oh, but you've still got more of this.
The words are hard. Flame, you're lucky we're not going to have words after this, mate.
It's scared, I'll just disappear the second we're done.
Oh, the lab coat is being passed. Professor Sonia, it has a nice ring to it.
Does indeed.
What's her specialty, though? Still Dynamax?
No, her specialty is Galarian history.
Well, alright then. Yeah, that's cool. Now I am the one who will go mad with power and have no impact on the story.
Although I have to say, I'm pretty sure this is not how becoming a professor works, but that's besides the point.
I'm sure she's working towards her MD, mate. Come on.
It's fine, her diploma's in her pocket, that counts, right?
Wyndon. Combining Wynn with London to create the final town.
My favourite town in the game, yes.
Oh, I'm so wiped out now. I think that Sandaconda actually burst forth into the real world and just brewed up a sandstorm to get into my eyes and whatnot.
He's not real, you don't have to be scared of him tonight.
I do. When I go to sleep, I will dream naught of Sandaconda and the way he walled me in this video game playthrough of ours. So, yeah, that's all 8 badges and whatnot. They form a nice little football medal thing, and well, I guess next time there's going to be an in-between part where I show off a few things, and after that we're heading to Wyndon, guys, so I'll see you next time when the Pokemon Sword playthrough continues. Bye bye.